Hey, what's up guys? About to review a United Cutlery boot knife, one of the little small ones, which I think is awesome. It's a complete win from United Cutlery. They are very much hit and miss. Some of the stuff's awesome, some of their stuff stinks. Speaking of which, just reviewed this Tailwind. Super fast, great lockup, looks really cool, and that's where the goodness ends. So sometimes they have an awesome product, and sometimes they have a product that just disappoints. So after doing this sad review, I'm very happy to do this review. So we got the Bud K catalog here because that's where both these knives came from, along with some other stuff. And after looking through the catalog again, maybe I'll just do I'll do a catalog video, just kind of flip through the pages, give you my thoughts on some things, tell you what I like, what I don't like, maybe why or why not. But anyway, that's for another video. So we have here is this knife, okay, which has been carried and used for a while now, and I love it. What an awesome little deal. All right, here it is in the catalog. All right, there's two versions. You can see the version that I have is the one that's pictured largely here. It's the black coated blade with the serration, or the partially serrated back edge. These are double-edged knives, okay? So keep in mind your local and state laws, and if you're in different countries, then God help you, because you get the shaft when it comes to knife stuff, and I feel very badly for that. But anyway, yeah, so there's another version here, which I actually like more. For this one, I really wanted the all black one, but I really wish they had a plain edge version in all black, because nothing beats a double-edged plain edge blade. And it's very, very cool. What attracted to me with these knives, basically the looks. As far as a boot knife goes, what its purpose is kind of a backup knife. Now, of course, it's pictured with a little boot there and it's sold as a boot knife, but I got this knife with the intentions of using it as a neck knife. Been experimenting with a lot of different neck knives, looking for a nice balance of a functional knife, something that looks cool. I want something light. It's hanging around my neck. You guys know the Brass Blade Silent Soldier is probably one of my favorite neck knives ever, but of course it's a little chunk of steel. It's kind of hefty. Compared to something like this, it's a brick. So when you're carrying something around your neck all the time, of course you'll get used to pretty much anything, but it's always nice to have a very light option that's actually functional. And what I really like about this is the fact it's double-edged. Once again, be very wary of your laws wherever you are, okay? And a little caveat, which I shouldn't say, but I am allowed legally to carry as many guns as I want on my person. I'm not concerned with my knife of choice. So I'll leave it at that. So anyway, yeah, so I just want to mention that there is another version there. You can see the price, $9.99. You cannot beat that for the price, all right? This has a 2.5-inch blade. Let me get this out of the way. 2.5-inch blade, all right? It's 5 inches overall. It's an AUS 6 stainless steel for the blade type. And AUS 6, a lot of you guys are familiar with AUS 8, okay, or AUS 8, as many people say. And it's okay, it's not bad at all. The only difference is it's gonna be a little bit softer, being AUS 6. As far as performance, it's not something that I use all the time. This got the most use in the garden, believe it or not. And I did make one video showing it and talking about why I like cheaper knives, because I can really beat on this thing and I'm not worried about it. For 10 bucks, if it breaks, I'll get a new one. It's really not much of a concern at all. This has a 3/4 tang. If you're interested, the tang goes down 3/4 of the way, as you'd imagine. There's a lanyard hole on the bottom if you want to add a little lanyard for more accessibility, because it is smaller. You're only going to get a 2-finger grip on this knife. All right, it is very comfortable in the hand. I like this a little bit of a swell in the middle. Okay, of course the guard itself will keep your hand from pushing forward if you were to thrust or stab into something. But of course, if you did stab into something, or if you had resistance cutting and your hand slid back, this does aid in your fingers from sliding, okay? And of course it does taper down closer towards the tip, so it's easy to hold, but fatter on the end. So once again, it fills your hand out a little bit more. Obviously it's not hand filling, but it does help. As far as the design overall, I think it looks awesome, but it's actually pretty comfortable for a tiny little knife. Now the biggest advantage you get with the double-edged blade, particularly small ones, is that you basically get twice the blade length in cutting performance. Now, with one exception, this has a 2.5-inch blade, but it doesn't mean you're getting, 5 inches of cutting surface, even though you are, not all at once, okay? So if you need to cut something, And you know, a 5-inch blade will perform differently. But what I mean by that with double cutting surface is that, you know, imagine a 2.5-inch blade, but when it goes dull, you flip it over and you got a brand new knife ready to go. That's a huge benefit, especially with cheaper, softer steels. You know, sharpening these things, it doesn't take much to sharpen them, but they don't hold an edge very well. All right, so you can really beat on one edge, and when it just gets too dull to perform, flip it over. You know, you now bought yourself some more time before you need to sharpen your knife again. So big advantage. The serrations on United Cutlery stuff is just so-so. It doesn't blow me away, but it's not crap either. It is functional. With this one, like I said, I would prefer a plain edge on both sides just for ease of sharpening. That's all. Serrations are a huge pain in the butt to sharpen. And I can get serrations sharp, but I can never quite get them factory sharp. It's just one of those things. I can't get them razor sharp like I can get a plain edge blade. So, you know, just something to think about there. Of course, there are some grooves on the side, which do also aid in grip. The sheath is very nice. My biggest concern, especially with cheaper knives, is sheath retention. Okay, it's never been more important than it is and prevalent than with a neck knife. Okay, this is obviously hanging around your neck, usually underneath a shirt or jacket of some kind. You do not want the knife to fall out. And I've said this before, if you're going to carry a neck knife, the first thing and most important thing about it is to have a secure sheath. If it does not retain in the sheath very nicely, nix it. Do not use it. It's going to be a danger to you. Okay, if your knife falls out throughout the day, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe it kind of gets stuck in between your shirt. It could stab you. It's not good. So the number one most important thing as far as safety is concerned with a neck knife is good sheath retention, and this one has it. You can see the blade will nestle down in there. All right, and then you need an extra little push, and you can hear that snap in. All right, now it's not like a massive Kydex sheath. It's not a really loud audible snap, but you feel it. I know when that's secure. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can see it. You know when that's in there, okay? And then once it is in there, it's not gonna shake out at all. So I really like the retention in this. With a very cheap price tag, I thought that this would be a problem. And if this thing fell out, honestly, I'd just scrap the whole knife. I would say it's a piece of crap. Because if it's not gonna hold in your sheath, in this case, like I said, of all cases, it's most important. All right, so this could be the best knife in the world with the best materials and everything. I would never recommend using it or carrying it if it's not gonna be able to be carried safely. So something to note, they have these grooves here so you can hold it to pull out of the sheath. This is amazingly comfortable. I love this. Problem is, I never ever take the knife out like this. If it was in my pocket, which you can carry this just in your pocket. Another thing about this knife is it's very versatile. I've been carrying it on a ball and chain, which does not come with it, okay, mind you. It comes with just a cheap nylon paracord wannabe necklace thing. It'll work, it's fine, but I would recommend I would particularly recommend a ball and chain necklace for any neck knife carry. I find it to be the most useful, the most secure. I happen to prefer that, but if you want to use a cord, you know, switch over to something stronger than what you get with this knife. But neck knife, it's amazing. Little tiny backup boot knife, it'll work great. You've seen me before lace, you know, paracord through the sheath itself and basically mount it to the tongue of my boot or shoe. That's another great way to carry this knife. Or if you want to, just take off, you know, the cord when you get it and just put it in your pocket as is. Like I said, you have good sheath retention. Just slip it in your pocket. It's a great little pocket knife. Take it out, pull the sheath off, and you're good to go. You could just mount, use the nylon that comes with it, or again, swap out for paracord for something stronger and loop it through your sheath and then loop the end of it through the belt loop on your pants, then put it in your pocket. This way, when you take the knife out, you don't have to use a second hand to remove the sheath, okay? You just make it so that it's a short distance, so once it comes out of your pocket, by pulling the handle, it'll come out for you, so you can use it one-handed. Of course, putting it back in is gonna be a little easier with two hands, but a lot of options with something like this. So it looks cool, it's cheap, it works fairly well. The double-edged blade might be a legal issue where you are. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not gonna recommend, you know, any kind of legal advice, you know, for or against anything, but it's definitely worth every penny of the $9.99 price tag that it carries. It's very cool, and I'm actually looking to get the plain edge version as well, because I like this for a neck knife, and eventually if I go to a different neck knife, I might swap this out for my new boot knife. All right, and this will even work with sneakers. If you happen to have all black sneakers, I think it'll blend in very nicely. You can carry it all summer. You don't just have to wait till winter, you know, or boot season to carry something like this on your shoe. So huge fan of this, definitely recommended. You know, keep in perspective, it's not gonna hold an edge like S30V, it's not VG10, it's not, you know, M4, it's nothing crazy as far as the you know, edge retention on this, okay? But for $10, it's there. It makes me happy enough, okay? So it's an awesome, fantastic option for a neck knife. So United Cutlery, like I said, out of the park with this one. Don't know why you came up with this one. Love the technology, but this is like a Monday morning knife. This is a you know, a Wednesday, everyone got pizza for lunch type knife. So I don't know what's going on at the factory over there, but pump out more of these because these are awesome. That's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Where all the goodness ends. So if you're gonna use your knives, yeah, shit.